Alright. So this is probably where I'm going to cut the video for YouTube. So last week we've done the phonology, and in between the streams I actually prepared the document a bit, just so it's cleaner. Why so early? Why so early for the stream? Or do you mean for cutting the video for YouTube? I meant for the start of the video for YouTube. So, last week we did this, mainly. Because I cannot stream after like 1700. I have stuff planned. So this is what we've got. So it's quite a clunky phonology. I don't remember all of the reasoning behind it, but I think it's fine. Yeah, almost only voice fricatives and a lot of voice plosives with 3 distinctions. So the romanization is absolutely atrocious, so that's nice. And now grammar. Well, we have a small lexicon. So for some grammar, I've seen ergative being asked for. I'm going to change that to cases, because I don't know yet how we are going to mark them, so I don't know if it's nouns or not. Well, just nouns. So, besides a negative case, what do we want? Well, absolutive. I can type. Are you guys still there? Alright, so, cases, apart from negative and absolutive. What do we want? So, for anyone who doesn't know what this is, there we go. I really do not want to go tripartite. And yeah, those 2 cases can be fine. I'm not sure that's enough. It can be okay, but I don't like it. I mean, I don't mind having very few cases, I just don't think that only one marked case would be ideal. Yeah, I generally add a dative or something like that. Hey, I know. Let's go on the best list ever. Yeah, of course we can invent some. Sorry. So what's fun here? Location is useless. I don't like it. Motion. Let's go with something fun. Oh no, it's absolutely not the best list ever. Actually, to go on your idea about time, we could have a locative case that only works for time and not for actual physical location. Let's go with us for time. Yeah, just a temporal case. Benefactive would be fun if it's used like as other things that just benefactive. Actually, I'm going to find benefactive, go on the page and see how other languages use it. Okay, there is absolutely fucking nothing. Yeah. Yeah, something a bit extended. We're just going to make up our own. Yeah, something for the goal could be good, or attention, tendency. Do you mean tendency? Okay, yeah, something like a goal or a motivation, a cause. No, I don't actually. I've never heard you, I don't think. I would say it would be an auto-benefactive. Now, if I do it for myself, it would be auto-benefactive. Like in French, I think it was in the Wikipedia page for benefactive, one of the examples was je me fais une pause. I do myself oppose. I do oppose for myself. I think that was the case here. Yeah, je me fais une pause. That's it. I didn't want that. No, that. I wanted that. Yeah, we're going to keep it pretty simple. Yeah, middle voice. That's something else again. Slightly. It's like I wash myself. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that could absolutely be grouped with benefactive. Well, it could express the same thing, yeah. So the question is, how do we do cases? Like, we can have those cases, that's not a problem. I think I like genitive and dative. Not dative, sorry. Benefactive. And causative would be nice. Like, grouped with it. Woohoo, we have 5 viewers. Yeah, how do we inflect all of this? Do we want to have just suffixes or even affixes? Do we want that? Well, benefactive causative would be expressing both the goal and the cause. Yeah. I think we would have some syntactical differences between the two to express the differences between the two. I'm not sure I want to mark the case on the article, but we could have articles that completely change depending on case. About is a very good one too. Okay, I think I'm going to go with about on articles, because that's two ideas together. I don't want this to be just me selecting ideas, because that's boring. It's just all through my filter. I want to take in as much as I can at once. Lalilu for absolutive, genitive, benefactive, yeah. And how do we mark the ergative? Well, we don't, because, well, I mean, you get it. How do you mean, Albena? Yeah. Well, they could have no article, but then we would have to find another way to inflect for other things that articles would be able to inflect too, which I absolutely don't mind, but then the articles become more case particles than they are actually articles. Which I don't mind. I don't mind having case particles instead of articles and marking other relevant information like number or definiteness right on the noun. It can, but... Well, does it have to be a suffix? We could have something where every case has a particle or article, and since it's ablaut, we could have la lilu, as Maricuron says. But yeah, you're right, Potato, but it could be something slightly more subtle, where we have la lilu for absolutive, genitive, and benefactive, but for ergative we just don't have the vowel, and thus it behaves phonologically more like an affix, well, a prefix, if the particle is actually prefixed. Preposed, I guess. Yeah, that's exactly the thought, Marty. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Yeah, but orthographically we could choose to represent it with an apostrophe. Much like French articles. Yeah, if we get to the point in the stream, well, the series of streams, where we are going to do some language evolution, we could have an assimilation between the L, the particle, and the rest of the word. And thus we would have different roots for every case. Well, at least for ergative and the others. An umlaut is just... how do I put it? I mean, Marty is going to do a better job at it, but... it's just an assimilation process in which the vowel is pronounced more like the following... well, vowel or semi-vowel. Generally a vocoid, I think. And it's dependent on the next syllable. It's not in the same syllable. Yeah, where the vowel takes on a quality that the next vocaloid has. Hi, Ironic. Not much has been done. You can see everything on the screen. Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay, so marking case, we are going to go with case particles or articles. Oh, you have no sound. That's too bad. What was it? Yeah, a goddamn absolutive. It's nice. Lalilu? Why Lalilu? I mean, I guess it's cardinal. We have A, I, U. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's simple enough. And yeah, we said ergative. I'm going to put a dash here. Because we can have the content change. Okay, so what do we do in the case of ergative? Before a noun that has a consonant first and another that has vowel first. Because I would like them to behave kind of differently. So just the sound L before a vowel. Do we have something that starts with a vowel here? We don't really. No, we don't. Yeah, but I don't really know what you mean with L apostrophe. Like, do we just have it plain, like in French? Or do you want the apostrophe to stand for something? Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if no one is putting any opposition, I'm going with that, so. And it's something I liked, so really it's fine. But before a consonant, that's what interests me. Oh, you want some metathesis? So before a plosive, it would go after it. What do you mean? Oh yeah, formaggio. When I can before a plosive. Okay, what if... Okay, we define our syllable structure to be CCVC, but what if it already has two consonants in the onset? Do we have a word that does that? Yes, we do. Oh yeah, we are going to need to make one. Because that's a verb, not a noun, so it does not take a case. Yeah, what about a word that has two consonants, but still has the ergative case? Does the L get metathesized after it's plosive and deletes the second consonant, or does it go after both and thus it's an illegal syllable? Yeah, actually you could only replace the trill it could remain between a plosive and an approximant so between a plosive and wa. If it's la, then it's not marked at all, and if it's lia, we could just replace it with lia. Yeah, for instance. Yeah, we could just... which one would get deleted? The L or the... No, it is not. But we could have it happen only with the ergative case. I mean, why not? Irregularities are nice. Yeah, if it's not legal, it's actually still legal. So if it's not wa, this consonant gets deleted and replaced with the L, correct? Okay, is that what you thought? What you understood from what I said, at least? Alright, perfect. I'm going to put that in inline code so it's a bit highlighted. There we go. I'm going to put every phoneme and everything in inline code. It's prettier and it's clearer. Alright, here we go. Oh, and this one and above too. Alright. We'll have to craft some more nouns, especially one at least that starts with a plosive and w, just to show how it works. Actually, let's do that right now. What can we craft? Let's do a word for child. No, that's not a plosive, and it's not w after that. I'm going to go with... Actually, I was going to go with that. Just for the Latin inspiration. You know what? Quip can be fish. I think... No, that's not it. Yep. Puer. Which is a very French rendering of puer from Latin. So that's just one syllable. We're going to make some example sentences later. Alright. I'm going to skip that to the bottom. We still have to describe exactly what the ergative case is, but we can do that a bit later. I assume it's very prototypical for now. Absolutive, genitive, and benefactive. which we might just end up calling causative or just benefactive later, depending on how we describe it. Alright, so for those, how do we mark them, and is it just very regular? Well, we already did that, because absolutive is la, genitive is li, and benefactive causative is lu. The question is, how do they interact with the word that follows them? So we could have a lot of allophony, or not, or just have it very plain and regular. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Potato. So we could have a lot of things going on, or not, or just pretty much nothing. Because allophonically we could have a lot of things we can determine later, because they would be more systemic, like u before a vowel becoming w before a vowel is generally not something that is separated from the rest of the sound changes. It's generally something systematic that happens before every vowel. Some changes being restricted to certain grammatical categories is not unheard of. I mean, they can spin and spin and spin, I don't care. Hi, Bells. Yeah, that's also something that would be systemic. So I don't think we are going to worry too much with the realizations. Well, does it? If the romanization is not phonetic but is only phonemic, then it would still be written L-I, sorry. Thanks, Bills. Yeah, since you just arrived, here's where we're at. So, we've taken a bunch of decisions. So do we assume that absolutive, genitive and benefactive causative are very prototypical cases and correspond pretty much to the definition of Wikipedia? For now, at least. Yeah, because I'm not going too deep in describing the kernel holistically right now. That will be for later because not everyone is used to that. And this is a public stream, so I don't want to lose everyone. I mean, I'm going to refine the documentation a bit later by myself, but for now I want everyone to be able to contribute in the same way. So I'm not going to make up labels and everything. And I mean, the benefactive causative is not exactly something that actually exists. We've talked about that a bit. It's going to be for goal, for cause, for doing something for yourself or for someone else. It's going to group a few things. So it's not exactly like I'm just taking the labels and applying them. But if you want to contribute in a way that's more like our usual style of conlanging, please do. And I'll do my best to explain to everyone. But yeah, everything is going to get refined a bit and redefined. This is really just bare bones. We are here with just this page. We've defined that cases are marked with either articles or particles. We have not defined whether or not we want to mark other information on those particles. So we don't yet know if they're actually articles that could inflate for definiteness, or number, or gender. For now, we only know that they take case. My usual style of conlanging is to not care about the labels, not go on Wikipedia and see what something means, but just describe it entirely, have a lot of examples, and then assign it a label that corresponds to the examples and the uses. So it takes a lot more time, and it's not something I'm willing to do on stream right now. I mean, it doesn't really take more time, because I can go very fast with it, but if I'm not alone in it, I'm not going to go that fast. It's completely impossible because no one is following my train of thought if I'm not wording absolutely everything, which will take time. But if I'm alone, I can go way faster. Here I have to make sure that everyone is on the same page, that what I explain is what you understand, and that what you understand is what I mean. So it goes both ways. And doing my usual style of conlanging would be a pain, really. I might later, when I've got something more coherent and cohesive, and well, when I'm more used to streaming. Yeah. So we are going to assume that those are for now prototypical, and we're going to define them a bit better later. We know how they are marked. Do we want to mark anything else with those particles or articles? Like, are there just case particles that do not mark for anything else? Or are they articles that give more information? Do we want number, gender, definiteness, anything else? You don't, alright. Anyone else? I'd love for Twitch to actually allow me to see who is watching, at least my followers or anything. Because right now I want to say, hey, are you here? But I don't know if he's even still watching. You weren't paying attention. That's fine. I wasn't either. No problem, Mom. So, Bill, the question is, what do we do with those particles or articles? What do we want to mark with them? Is it just case or is it anything else? Is Marty still here? Collective singulative is fine, I guess. I'm not a fan. Plural, non-plural is a good one. Where would you put mass nouns? In a plural and non-plural thing. Yeah, like if I say bread. Bread is a mass noun. It's not a bread, it's bread. Marty, what do you mean realis, irrealis? Are there actually languages that have realis and irrealis numbers? Or is that something else entirely? Singular, not plural. That's kind of... I mean, this is a weird overlap because we then do not have anything for plural. Oh, you meant for mass nouns. Okay. So if you have exactly 3.14 of something, you have this number. If you don't, it's another. Nice. Oh, this would be non-classes, not which the case particles could inflect for. So it would be some sort of nominal evidentiality, because that would be fun. Yeah, it would be a non-class. Oh, it wouldn't be gender because nothing would inflect for it apart from either the noun or the case. Particle, article. So it wouldn't be a non-class because, yeah, I see. So far, ideas I like are Marty's idea about nominal evidentiality and the plural, non-plural numbers for nouns. Oh, okay. So, in a plural, non-plural way, well, number system, rather, would the default form always be plural? And I'll also make a note for... How do we actually call that, Marty? I'm going to go with this. Why what? Do you mean why would the default form be always plural? That's a very good question. See, it's all about merit. Not everyone deserves to live. Well, that would be because if you are calling your system, and that's a case of letting the label give information about the system. If you are calling your system plural and non-plural, then you cannot, you have to assume that the default form is plural and that something that is marked, that is explicit, would be the opposite of that. It's just because of the name of the system that Bills gave. But another way to say it would be singular and plural, and then the default form could be either. Yeah, kind of like past and non-past. Yeah. So it probably does. I don't have one in mind, but I know it does. Yeah, I don't see any reason for it not to exist. So we have to modify the lexicon to have all nouns in the plural. Stars, always already there. Flames. And we could have some weird thing where flames would be plural if it means flames, but would be singular if it means a fire. That's of course using English semantics, but it could be fun to have something like that. I mean, it's definitely non-standard, especially for European language speakers. I'm not sure it's actually prevalent anywhere. I'll check if was the chapter on number. Number of cases, number, nominal plurality. No, that wouldn't be it. Features. Yeah, there's nothing on walls, actually. Coding of nominal plurality. No. And that's the occurrence. Okay, no. We won't have any information there, I don't think. Nah. No singulative and collective. Nothing. Alright. Alright, so nouns are by default plural. How do we mark for not a plural? Actually, do we even mark for not a plural on the noun? Because if we are going to have polypersonal agreement, we could only have a number marking on the verb. I mean, there is no reason we can do both. Have it... I like the vocalic prefix. Actually, I like a vocalic prefix to the case article that does harmonize. And marking on verbs. What do you mean referential? So, Bills, what did you mean with referential? Okay. No problem, Bella. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with both the vocalic prefix to the case article and marking it on verbs. And probably with the same vowel. So it would fully harmonize with everything. So would we have a default vowel for marking the number of a subject in the ergative case on a verb, or would we just not have a vowel there? Oh yeah, there is some delay. I tried to reduce it, but I don't know how much I succeeded. Yeah, 8 viewers. I was up to 10 just 5 minutes ago. I'm becoming famous. So we'll revise existentiality a bit later. For now, I want to work on numbers. Oh, nice. 11 is nice. I think I was up to 14 the other day, last week. So we mark. What kind of harmony do you want, Mardi? Yeah, we are going for no marking with the plural, since it's the default. But the question is, what kind of harmony do we want for non-plural? Because Mardi suggested something that harmonizes with the other vowel in the article. Yeah, I could. Yeah, we could do that. affix does not take a final E in English, by the way, since you seem to since you seem to be looking for the word. Okay, so we could do that. How would we say one in this language? In Yalonda. Here are the phonemes. I mean, technically we could have one as the word for one. Key, yeah? We could have key. I'm going to add that here. I'll probably sort them by alphabetical, English alphabetical order later. Yeah, it's also not... Oh, actually, yeah, we could have that. But no, that's terrible. Oh yeah, I forgot to... Yeah, I did. That's a numeral, and it's 1. So, knowing that... I'm sure someone will borrow you, potato. I'm sure. Oops. It's terrible, terrible wording, but I'm going to go with that. So, Marty, you were thinking about some kind of harmony. What kind of harmony? Do you want... Well, we have well, yeah, we have u. We could have it with front-back harmony. All at once. Well, for one, we want something that is assimilatory, right? Because metaphony is usually assimilatory. Okay. So if the affix is key, that would mean that before the ergative one, it would remain key. Before the genitive one, it would also remain key, because it's assimilatory, so it stays to the front. With the benefactive, it would become u, ku, or it could just centralize and just go half the way, because there are phonemes there. And before the absolutive, it could be either ke or ke. Ke or ka, sorry. So we would stop at the first phoneme encountered without a rounding harmony. Correct? Yeah, that is with a rounding harmony, which I don't mind. I think I liked Kulu a bit more. Kulu rather than Kulu. Kulu. I'm going to manage to pronounce that language one day. Actually, with the running harmony, it's pretty nice. Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, with the aspiration. So what do we want? Rounding harmony or not? And does it stop at the phoneme encountered in the central region or not? Or does it go fully to the same side as in Kulu instead of Kulu? How do I word that? Okay, so we're keeping it central. Do we keep it unrounded? I'm going to keep the rounding harmony. So if we are going from E to U instead of U, that means we are only moving one step but keeping the rounding. If we decide to mark anything else on those articles, that could lead to something fun, yeah. If we have anything else that uses a rounded vowel. I think I'm going to keep it this way for now and go with what I think is best, in my opinion. And we'll be free to change it later. I'm not sure how to word that. Mardi, do you have any ideas? Because we are going from, if it's followed by a back vowel, it's only shifting by one step from front to central, not front to back. So, do we call that mid-centralization, but only on one axis? Because it's either mid or centralization. From E to A and from E to U. Do you actually want me to write that? Because I will. Well, but this doesn't work in all cases. It's clear enough. Yeah, I'm going to... Hi, Cha. Well, actually, Mardi, is it really brethren? Is it not just a sibling? What is a vowel's gender, actually? Can we actually still use brethren if it's not only brothers? I do not believe Char is American. I'm not sure, actually. I'm going to go with brethren anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with sibling. Yeah, it's better. I'm going to go with that. And add a few details. Yeah, I think so, potato. Sorry, I saw the question and didn't think to answer. Alright, so we have that. Any other funky changes? Or do I just make a table with both the number and the case to sum up? Oh, is it? I honestly don't remember. I think I'll just make the table right now and use it later. We are going to need more columns, I think. There we go. So we have 4 of those and only 2 of that. I'm going to go with that. Okay, what am I even doing? So I need the 4 cases, so I need 1 more column. Alright, here we go. And only 2 numbers. So we're going to go with plural, non-plural. I don't know when the stream will end, and yeah, you missed basically this. We are on number right now, and we have decided to have 4 cases that are marked with an article, and that article can take a number. And I'm just doing a table to sum up the information that will be contained in this chapter. Absolutive, that's genitive, and I'm just going to call this one benefit. I can type. The absolutive is la. The genitive is li. Benefactive is lu. And those are the same, but with kill. I'm going to keep the dash here for now. That's kala. Kili. And kulu. Yeah, kill you. I'm going to be back in a few minutes. Alright, I'm back with coffee. The harmony is going to work. Yeah, entirely in height, but not fully in backness. Hi, Inky. It means that if you have the vowel, which is actually, I'm going to pull up the phonemic inventory. If you have this, the vowel, after the k prefix, you are going to have the e vowel in the prefix become that a vowel. But if you have u, then the e vowel in the k suffix is going not to become the fully backed vowel u, but instead will remain rounded like u, but it will be u because it's central, so it's not fully backed. And Inky, hi, we are working on some grammar. Right now we have decided on a few cases, 4 to be exact, that are marked with an article, and that article can also take a modifier for number, which is derived from the word for one, ki. And it's summarized here. Yes, they are probably going to fully back because they don't have an equivalent in the central position. Though, if it's only allophonic, you could have some central vowels there. Alright, what else should we work on? Do we have anything else to say about number? Oh yeah, mass nouns. Where do mass nouns fall? Are they plural or non-plural? The existentiality marking is going to come just after that, I think, unless someone else has a very good idea. Okay, we have one vote for mass nouns being plural. That's 1-0. I'm going to make a straw poll, actually. There you go. I don't want to add a number because I want to keep this pretty simple in the number of inflections. Well, what do you mean by neutral form? Because, oops, results. If you say neutral, do you mean default? Because generally a neutral form would be the default. At least in my mind, so I don't really like that term. So we have 6 votes from... how many viewers do we have? 9 viewers. 6 votes. We are lacking 1 vote for plural, and that's majority. I'm going to leave it 1 minute. Okay, so mass nouns would be plural in that system, because plural is not marked. So I assume you voted for plural. "35 seconds left. If anyone wants to vote and hasn't. Or hasn't voted and wants to. Both work. Alright, mass nouns are plural. I'll go write that, and then we can switch to talking about Marty Curran's idea about existentiality. Oh, yeah, you did. Your fellow viewers decided that? Actually, I think the plural and non-plural idea was Bill's. So ask Bill's about it. Alright, so existentiality was something... Yeah. Who's Bill? What do you mean, Bill? Oh, Bills. Right. So what was it about the horses? A horse we know exists, and a horse, if any, that might exist, right? Marty, are you there? Oh, that was actually a serious question, Potato. I did not take it as such. Marty, are you here? Or did you leave us? Yes, sometimes you are. Often you are not. A hand could come into your garden. Oh, so you would want that to also inflate for likeliness of the event to occur, or likeliness of the noun to be present. I'm not sure I fully understand your second example, with the fence is hand-shaped. But would that be marked on the nouns? Because that feels like something that would be marked on the verb. Also, aren't both of these cases irreal because you don't know whether it happened? Though I get, it depends on the language. Okay, so the call is the hypothetical, but the action to call is not. You are okay. This is what peak hand performance looks like. You cannot debate it. Okay, so in one case we have a hen that is expected because it's likely to occur. On the other case, it's not likely, or you are wondering about the likeliness. Okay. If we wanted to go very, very silly, we would draw an entire spectrum across all the vowels. And we would have the vowel height slide across that spectrum according to how likely the event is, or expected. This is very, very natural. And you could even abstract it into 100 degrees of likeliness. No, it wouldn't be very similar to definiteness because that's really about... It could be this one hen. Yeah, it could be this one hen that I'm talking about. That's definite. But if it's not likely that it exists, it's still definite, but it's not, I want to say it's not existential, not very existential. I'm not sure about how we would define degrees of existentiality. I think I'm understanding that right. Marty is going to confirm or infirm that statement. Well, Marty is taking a bit of time to confirm or infirm my statement. I think it's both because of the delay, because the answer is not simple. Or maybe they are just typing another explanation entirely. Maybe we'll never know. Oh, brittlers are very, very nice. Please send some to me. I said you... I said that it could be this one hen. That's definite. But it could be very unlikely to exist or to participate in an event. And therefore it would be definite, but marked for existential unlikeliness. I can repeat that in French. Okay, perfect. So, is it only if it's likely to exist, or if it's likely to take part in an action? Is it relevance in the context, or is it purely abstract? For instance, if I say, this house is going to fly, the house exists, but it's very unlikely to fly. So do I still mark it for its existential unlikeliness? Okay, so it's more abstract. It's not very contextual. It's whether it exists or not. It's a fucking house, Potato. Have you ever seen a house fly? This isn't Nevada, there aren't tornadoes. I can never know with you. It's not. It can't be Nevada. We've already decided they live on an island. Until Nevada is an island, it's not Nevada. I think. Actually, maybe the island is called Nevada. We have the right vowel. We have the ash. I'm not sure about future Nevada being able to have islands inside of it. Well, there is Up, which has a floating house, yeah. Very good movie, by the way. Oh, okay, so it's contextually relevant, but it's its sheer existence and not whether or not it's likely to do something. Okay. So it's not in the pie, so it doesn't exist. Right. I have absolutely no idea how to describe that. It's weird. I really, really like it. But it's weird. You mean bed, Terra. Bed. Sir, how do I word that? And Marty, how would that be marked? Would it be marked on the article or on the noun? I exist somewhere. I think I want that to be marked on the noun. I'm going to make another stropple. Yeah, it's still 4-3. Whatever. Yeah. Triple. I am not, no. Here's a stropple. I want to vote on this one, so I'm going to go with the noun. 2 votes for the noun. It's 55, at 57 I'm closing it. Three votes for the noun. Oh, I know why we had 9 viewers earlier. Technically, I'm a viewer, I have it open here. And that's a majority in favor of the noun. Because we are 7 viewers right now. Checking. Yeah, 7. Alright. So how do they inflect? Is it some vocalic mutation? Is it something not very regular? Is it a suffix? I exist somewhere, I said. No, I am apparently not never marked. At least not explicitly, maybe I'm never implied. But I doubt that too. Well, I'm not even French marked. My first name is not particularly French, and my last name is very Spanish. Yeah, true, you said implicit, sorry. I misread. Sí, español. I do have the ceceo. That's alright, look, is it? No, I'm not potato. I think I'm going to end the stream in half an hour, something like that. So we better get to actually making this work. Alright. Can anyone in the chat actually explain existential likeliness as defined by the examples above, just so we have something to go on? Because I have very little idea how to explain that. I would very much like your input. I think I'm going to have to go with a lot of examples. Because it... Yeah. What? I don't understand what you're saying. I mean, those are words that have a meaning, but no, those are the words. They have the same meaning in English. I just don't understand them in the context. Well, yeah, but that's what I wrote. Huh. Yeah, I know but that doesn't mean anything in the context here. Like, theme and rhyme are not relevant here, I think. No, I think we are going to have to give a few examples. And I think I'll do that on my own time between the streams, because this is going to be a mess, and I'd rather not do that right now in the stream. Oh, that is a very good one, Maddie. So this would be a binary stat, whether or not they can have a real-life reference. Because you either can point to one, or you can't. So this would... yeah. So would you have that be one suffix that means that you can, like it would be realis, or two suffixes, two affixes actually, or two ways to inflect it, that would be, like, you could be unmarked or realis or irrealis. I feel like there's plenty of options. So marked realis, unmarked irrealis. I'm going to go with that. So would proper nouns always be realis? Because proper nouns do generally refer to something that does exist. Also, what is a proper noun in this language? Oh, that's good. Even in a folktale. So, even if it's a fictional location in a folktale, so even if there is a fictional location in a folktale, since it's actually a proper noun, it would still be realis all the time, right? Implicitly realis without having to take a marking. That's very good. I really like that. It is a figure of speech, yeah. Because you are bringing something to the front in that you talk about it like as if it were real. That is not the weather you wanted. See you, Cha. Have a good one. Yeah, that's a good call, Maddie. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Because it's very good. I really, really like it. But how do we market? I would enjoy an affix, but I'm not sure if I want it to be a suffix or a prefix. Actually, no, I want it to be a suffix, not a prefix, because I don't want it to interact too much with the articles. Easy to pronounce consonant. Yay! A trill! A sonorant, so... If we actually want to fuck with people trying to pronounce that, I would go with... You really want a trill? I was going to go with an alveolo-palatal. I mean, I guess. I don't mind. There is a dorsal trill. It's in the fricatives. Like uvula. Okay, so no trill. I was going to go with the alveolo-palatal. This one. Because it could go pretty much anywhere. It is a continuum, and we will have to decide how it functions when it's after a consonant. That, or since it's palatal, we could just insert E in front of it, if there is a consonant before it. Though it's also alveolar, so we could go with the central closed vowel, unrounded. Why A? We don't have A, we have E. Though, I mean, it could be the same phoneme and... It could be the same phoneme and function as slightly... I mean, yeah, E works fine, and it gets raised to E because it's alveolo-palatal. I think it works. So it would be E, but allophonically, E. Yeah. I'll just have to put in the allophony that alveolars and alveolars are raising the E to an E. Allophony. It's synchronic, so it gets raised when it's in front of a consonant. I'm going to go with this notation. It's shitty, but it works. Getting the non-Israelis. Uh, oh, I forgot that. In a vowel, only the alveolar palatal fricative is suffixed. Oh, I think that's fine. I'll work on some examples and generate some more words on my own. Yeah, I think that's fine. And what did I want to work on? I had something in mind just earlier and I completely forgot. Yeah, verbs. Let's go with verbs. I do not believe... I don't really like aspirated plosives at the end of words, but sure. Up. Why up? So it's a noun. Hens. All right. Perfective imperfective. We can have that, yeah. Which one do you want to be marked? Perfective or imperfective? Or both, I mean. Why not? Both, okay. Actually, I'm going to make a straw poll. Why? Why do you do that? This is not what I wanted. Hi, Tonic. I'll catch you up in just a minute. During the poll, actually. Well, I think that's fine. Here, you can vote. Know that if we mark both, we are going to have to define whether or not we want the absence of marking to mean anything else, or anything at all. So, Tonic, I'm going to catch you up quickly. We have decided that the language is going to have 4 cases. the benefactive causative is going to encompass a lot, from benefactive, auto-benefactive, middle voice, causes, goals, intent, purpose, and everything. It's marked by articles, which are here. The L dash for ergative is like French articles L apostrophe. It functions that way phonologically. Except it can also be metastatized. So it's very, very fucky. Yeah, I do too. It's very nice. And what... Oh yeah, for number, Beals came up with a plural and non-plural system, where plural is the default, and everything that's marked is non-plural. Mass nouns would be... Oh, did I not make a note of that? Oh yeah, mass nouns are plural. I should have put it... Yeah. So yeah, nouns are by default plural, marked for non-plural, and mass nouns would be considered plural, so by default they are unmarked. The number is marked on the article, that is also used for the case, and there is a harmony with following vowel. So it stems from ki, which is a word for one, and it just prefixes with the article, so la just becomes kill. In the absolutive, la just becomes kala because it's harmony in height. Genitive, kili, it stays the same because the vowel is the same. And Mardi Kuran had a very nice little, I want to say tale, about how the humble vowel, when invited by its backier sibling, goes to the threshold of its domain, because this vowel harmonizes but does not fully back. It harmonizes in rounding but remains central. And that is pretty much where we're at. Oh yeah, no, Madikran also had a very, very good idea, which I labeled existential likeliness. It's basically how likely it is that something exists in the context of a sentence. So he gave the example of, did you hear? A hen went into your garden. The hen is realis, so it's marked for this. But all that is lacking in my pie is a hen. The hen does not exist, therefore it's not marked, it's irrealis. I'm going to have to come up with a lot more examples, and I'll try to make them in the language. And I'll do that on my own time because I don't want to spend 2 hours on the stream doing just that and fitting into only one feature, however interesting it is. And I'd rather have the verbs working in, yeah, a few dozen minutes. Alright, so the poll. Poll. Alright, so only the perfective would be marked, which was actually also my preference. We could have a form that insists on the action instead of the time of the aspect. What do you mean, I'm not sure I understand your latest statement about the form that insists on the action instead of the time of the aspect. Oh, our wrist, yeah. So it would be okay. So if it's really perfective, the our wrist, or as far as I understand it, it's the our wrist expresses a past action without any regard for its completion or continuation. But we could have, if both are marked, yeah, I think we could have perfective marked as well as some form of our wrist. Yeah, but I'm not sure I see the utility. We don't need to. We don't need it to be useful. We don't. We only need it to exist. So I think a participle generally is in the past. I mean, at least relatively, I think. Though there are future participles. I mean, it's something we can add later with more markings. So I think we're going to go with a perfective imperfective system where we only mark the perfective. Yeah, I know ancient Greek because I don't think modern Greek has an aorist. I'm just jotting some... Does it? I've only studied ancient Greek, so I'm not very aware of modern Greek. If only Klaus was here. Actually, I'm going to ask him how the aorist works. Klaus. Here. How does the aorist work in Greek? It's very urgent. A matter of life or death. And now I'm going to ignore the phone for a while. Aorist imperative, that sounds absolutely fine. Oh no, he's probably going to answer very fast. I don't even know if he's online or not. He's not online, he's not going to answer very fast. But I mean, he's a very experienced conlanger who happens to be a native speaker of Greek. So I just wanted to ask him, since he's going to be able to explain how it's used better than someone who has only studied modern Greek, instead of being a native speaker and having notions of linguistics. So we have perfective imperfective distinction with the perfective. No, you don't suck, you just aren't as experienced a conlanger as he is. And you are not a native speaker of Greek. Those are both facts. And they don't help you, true. But that doesn't mean you suck. I mean, I wouldn't know, I don't know your sexual life, so... No, it's not what you said. Yes, I I think he does, since he's been living in Greece since 4, I think. Yes, Albanian too. Wait, no, I think he was born in, sorry, he was born in Greece, in Athens, but moved to Albania. Not the reverse. Well, now you do. I mean, I'd have to check, but I think that's it. Anyway, back to our verbs. I would like some ideas about how to mark for person and for tense, at least, like just to have something that we could make sentences from. I'd rather start with tense because polypersonal agreement is going to take a bit more time, I think. At least for the basic system. If anyone doesn't know, polypersonal agreement is when you mark for both the subject and object of a verb on the verb, or at least on an element of the sentence. It can be the personal pronoun, it can be the verb itself. I'm not aware of a language that marks both subject and object on one of the arguments of the verb, but that could be fun too. Actually, maybe I have a paper about polypersonal agreements that I could link. I don't. You have some that do what? And yeah, I think merging tense and aspect to some degree is something that's very, very common. Especially if we don't want to have something that feels too much like a very noobish conlang, where we just stack endings after endings, suffixes after suffixes, just to inflect the meaning for tense and aspect and mood. Yeah, but my interrogation was not about subject and object being marked by the verb. It was about subject and object being marked on one of the arguments of the verb. What black screen? Oh. That's a good question. I do not know. Yeah, it seems it's only seeing black. There we go. This should be better. Okay, that I don't know why it happened, but it happened. Seems to be resolved. Alright, so we were saying, yeah, tenses. Do we want the very, I want to say classic, that's not tense. Does Japanese not have tense? Really? How does that work? I'm very, very unfamiliar with Japanese. The past tense suffix ta, okay. Japanese verb conjugation. Yeah, I know it only has some sort of binary thing and not past, present, future. Yeah, and sometimes called the non-past tense. The perfective is broadly equivalent to the English past tense. It is often called the past tense in treatments of Japanese grammar, but it is not restricted to any single tense. Not entirely. No, it does seem to be perfective. And it corresponds to past. Okay. So if I wanted to look up future in this page, IQ can express continuous action or change of state in the future. It's better to continue the future. Okay, so the imperfective tense encompasses the future. The imperfective aspect encompasses the future. Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's conflating the tense and the aspect to a rather large extent. Potato, is that a joke on a dish? Is that a food joke? Yeah. I'm not sure I want this language to be too similar to Japanese in that sense, because I don't really like conflating tense and aspect